Hi there, this is Mark Fisher from Mark Fisher Fitness and Business for Unicorns here in New York City. And I'm just going to take a moment to give you a couple thoughts around community and why it's so important for our clients and athletes to feel it in whatever experience we're providing for them. So anyone that's a psychology nerd is likely familiar with something called self-determination theory, which briefly means humans have three core needs. These are not wants, these are not desires, they're three things that we need to be fully functional. Those three core needs are autonomy. We want to feel like we have a sense of control. Competence, we want to feel like we're not stupid. We want to feel like we're good and able to succeed at what it is we're trying to do. And then importantly, community. We want the feeling of caring for others and feeling cared for. Now, the thing that's interesting is we know, because we've seen pretty conclusively both in research and real world experience, that community is a pivotal thing that people need when they're looking to make change. Because humans are social animals, and in fact, the context of our environment is going to be an important factor in what changes we're able to make and how sustainable they are. And because we are social, it is not always appreciated how important social context is around those changes. So finding a community of like-minded people that share your values and at the very least are supportive, if not exactly identical to your goals, is very, very important. Now, how one does that, unfortunately, we need a lot more than this brief video to cover. But in brief, community is built when we talk about the things that matter to people who care. So how one develops and curates those types of relationships is an art, and there are a lot of different ways one can do that. I'll give you one simple one on Mark Fisher Fitness that is deceptively effective, and that is simply doing an icebreaker and name game at the beginning of every class and every session, and actually at the beginning of every full team meeting at Mark Fisher Fitness. Now, this is particularly important for clients because it's hard to feel community when you don't know what somebody's name is. And when you are thoughtful curating what questions you ask, you can even skirt the opportunity to ask some questions that are meaningful enough that people give the types of answers that allow them to actually get to know each other a little bit. Now, you can go too far with this. Certainly, a class is not the first question you're gonna ask. Tell me about the thing you most regret from high school, right? So you have to be thoughtful about this. And certainly, there is a place for ones that are just silly. Tell me your name and ketchup or mustard. And even the silly ones will serve their place because by knowing each other's name, the reality is the community is often built before and after the session. Now, there are ways one can apply this to the online space. I mainly do brick and mortar, so that's what I know best. But suffice to say, you're looking to create these containers within the context of what you're paying for that provide opportunities for people to get to know each other and get to know each other's name at the very least, and just plant the seeds of potential friendship. Because the last point I'll make is adults are adults. And frankly, even with kids, you can't be like, hey kids, you be friends now. Doesn't work like that. You can't make people be friends. But if you can find opportunities for them to talk about something semi-meaningful, or at least get to know each other's name, then you're at least planting seeds that hopefully over time can grow. Because remember, it is that social context, that being surrounded by like-minded community of people that care about you, that are supportive of your goals, vastly improves long-term adherence and one's chances of success. That's all I got.